Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulanda Ki Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Paskachadishatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So everyone could please be seated, finishing their prayers. Thank you very much. Namaste Narashimaya. Pradadalada Dayane. Hiranya Kashipu Vakshaya. Tankana Kalaye. Ito Nishimo Padato Nishimo. Yato Yato Yamita To Nishimo. Bahe Nishimo Hirade Nishimo. Narashima Madim Sharanam Prapade. Avakara Kamarara Venakam Abhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringam Keshapadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nashingadev, 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 Jaya Nashingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So thank you very much everyone for coming. Please take Mahaprasad at Sri Krishna Haveli before you leave. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so we're serving prasadam in the Haveli. If you're hungry and you would like to honor Krishna prasadam, you can do so in the Haveli. If you're not sure where that is, you can ask someone who looks like they know. Essentially, it's that direction, okay? Yes. And in the meantime, in the temple room, we will be doing a little bit of chanting, yeah? And reading from Krishna book. Wonderful stories about Krishna, and we'll be discussing the things that we're hearing. So this is a great opportunity to hear all about the Lord, and that's why this temple is here. So we have that opportunity. So if you're able to stay, please stay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyareshatarine Vanshakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitaram Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, So we're reading from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, this is a wonderful book. Do you have this book? No? You should get it. You should get it. You weren't here yesterday, were you? Were you here yesterday? No, okay. So yesterday we were hearing the prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Krishna. Lord Brahma is the chief demigod in this universe. Actually, in every universe, because there are so many universes, in every universe there is a Lord Brahma, and he is the original creator. Actually, Vishnu or Krishna is the real creator, but Krishna gives Brahma the blueprint. Pardon? Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So Brahma is in charge of manifesting the cosmos. Vishnu maintains it, and Lord Shiva destroys it when the time is right. So Vishnu is completely transcendental to this material world, and he is the source of both Brahma and Lord Shiva. It is by the grace of the Lord that both Brahma and Lord Shiva are able to perform their service to Krishna. So Lord Brahma, he decided to play some trick. He wanted to test Krishna's potency when Krishna was just a small child. So what did he do? He stole away all of the friends of Krishna and also the calves that they were looking after in the forest. He took them away. He wanted to find out who this Krishna is. He knows Krishna. Krishna is his master. But he was a little bit bewildered by the fact that the Lord had appeared in the forest of Vrindavan as a simple cowherd, village boy, holding some food in his left hand. So Brahma stole away the Lord's friends and calves. But he didn't stay away for very long. He came back the next moment to see what the result was. However, his moment is the same as one whole year on earth. So although by his calculation he had only been away for one moment, actually 1 year had passed on earth. And during that time, Krishna had expanded himself as all the missing boys and calves. Lord Brahma took them away, he put them somewhere to sleep. And in the meantime, Krishna simply replicated those boys and calves by his own person. He expanded as them. Right? He didn't make them out of something else. He personally expanded as the boys and the calves. And he kept up the act. Of course, it's not very difficult for him because everything comes from him, so, right, not much of an act, but he maintained the act for one whole year. Yeah. And finally, when Brahma returned to see the fun, he was totally confused because from his perspective, he had just taken away these boys and calves. And now, he's again looking in the same place and they're all there? How is it possible? Anyway, he came before Lord Krishna and admitted his foolishness. And Krishna, by his mercy, revealed to Brahma his own position. He showed Brahma that, yes, I am the source of countless universes in which there's a Brahma. In every single universe, there's a Brahma just like you. And all the demigods are worshipping me in each of those universes. Anyway, as much as Krishna showed Brahma, that much Brahma was astounded and bewildered, and it was a little bit too much for him. Yeah? So finally Krishna closed the vision that he showed, and then Brahma offered these wonderful prayers. Right? So we're reading the prayers offered by Lord Brahma. Srila Prabhupada continues, one should not uselessly labor in mental speculation to estimate the Lord's qualities. There is no need of adopting the speculative method or exercising the body to attain mystic yoga perfection. One should simply understand that the distress and happiness of this body are predestined. Right, this is where we finished off yesterday. That the happiness and the distress that we receive in this life, they come with us when we're born. We may try for extra happiness, but actually it's not possible to get more happiness than we are destined at the time of birth. Yeah? Hare Krishna. So there's no need to try to avoid the distress of this bodily existence, or to attempt to achieve happiness by different types of exercises. The best course is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead with body, mind, and words, and always be engaged in His service. This transcendental labor is fruitful, but other attempts to understand the Absolute Truth are never successful. Right, so one path is fruitful, and another path is always a failure. So we want to accept the fruitful path, and what is that? To surrender unto the Lord with body, mind, and words, and always be engaged in His service. Therefore, an intelligent man does not try to understand the Absolute Truth by speculative or mystic power. Rather, he engages in devotional service and depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. An intelligent man does not try to understand the Absolute Truth by speculative or mystic power. Rather, he engages in devotional service and depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This dependence is very important. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes that a Narottama, a most perfect human being, is one who is practiced to depend on the Supreme Lord situated within his own heart at every moment. That's the best of human beings, Narottama. Always depending on Krishna, who is within one's heart as the Supersoul. And always depending on this Supersoul at every moment. If one is able to do that, one is a perfect human being. He knows that whatever may happen to the body is due to his past fruitive activities. If one lives such a simple life in devotional service, then automatically he inherits the transcendental abode of the Lord. Actually, every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and a son of the Godhead. Each has the natural right to inherit and share the transcendental pleasures of the Lord. But due to the contact of matter, conditioned living entities have been practically disinherited. So it's our natural right, our inheritance, to share the transcendental pleasures of the Lord. But because of contacting this material energy, we're practically disinherited, right? Cut out of the will.
Disinherited ourselves.
Yes, disinherited ourselves. By the desire to play God, to go our own way. If one adopts the simple method of engaging himself in devotional service, automatically he becomes eligible to be freed from material contamination and elevated to the transcendental position of associating with the Supreme Lord. Right, simple method. Such a result from a simple method. Whereas by the complicated speculative process, the result is simply useless labor.
Yeah, you just get lost.
Right, yeah. Useless labor by a speculative process. That's amazing, huh? You adopt a completely inappropriate process, right? Imagining that you can attain some result, yeah? But you don't even get part of a result. Your result is zero. It's actually, the only result is the trouble you took. That's it. Whereas by adopting the proper method, then one gets a full result. Full and, extraordinary result. It's like you have to have the right key to get into the door. Yeah? If the key is not correct, how you can open?
Right destination, otherwise you have to find some
Yes.
other place.
The destination has to be known, huh? And the method, the means of travel has to be known.
Speculation isn't it.
It's what? No.
Speculation isn't it.
No. No. For knowing the absolute truth, the speculative method is it's trying to cross an ocean by, launching a lead boat. What's going to happen, right? Lord Brahma presented himself to Lord Krishna as the most presumptuous living creature because he wanted to examine the wonder of Krishna's personal power. He stole the boys and calves of the Lord in order to see how the Lord would recover them. Now Lord Brahma admitted that his attempt was most presumptuous, for he was attempting to test his energy before the person of original energy. Yeah.
Brahma's such a creator, then he's thinking,
Yeah. He must have felt quite embarrassed, isn't it? He must have felt quite embarrassed. So he presented himself as very presumptuous by attempting to test his own energy in front of the person of original energy, the origin of all energy. Coming to his senses, Lord Brahma saw that although he was a very powerful living creature, in the estimation of all other living creatures within this material world, his power was nothing in comparison with the power and energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The scientists of the material world have invented wonders such as atomic weapons, and when tested in a city or some insignificant place on this planet, such powerful weapons create so-called havoc. But if the atomic weapons are tested on the sun, what is their significance? They are insignificant there. Similarly, Brahma's stealing of the calves and boys from Sri Krishna may be a wonderful display of mystic power. But when Sri Krishna exhibited his expansive power in so many calves and boys and maintained them without effort, Brahma could understand that his own power was insignificant. So he was shown up, huh? He was well and truly shown up. And then he felt suitably embarrassed and presumptuous. Brahma addressed Lord Krishna as Achyuta because the Lord is never forgetful of a little service rendered by his devotee. What does Achyuta mean? Do you know what Achyuta means? That's a good guess. Small would be Anu. Achyuta means, pardon? Pure? Close. Achyuta means infallible. He's never influenced by material energy. He never falls down. Right? Infallible. Never fails. Whatever is his responsibility, whatever he, feels is his responsibility. Of course, in Bhagavad Gita, he says that if I ever failed to perform my duty, the whole creation would be put to ruin. Everyone would follow my bad example. So Krishna cannot set a bad example. So he never fails in his duty. Therefore, he is Achyuta. infallible. And he never fails in his relationships either, right? How many times do we blow it in our relationships? By being selfish, self-absorbed, or just limited in our capacity. Yeah, and then everyone's upset with us anyway, even though we tried our best. Right? Or we lose our temper, yeah, and at the wrong. I mean, it's never the right moment to lose your temper, but the point is that, it's always, someone always feels the brunt of it. So in so many ways in this material world, we fail. But Krishna never fails. And we also can come to the platform of not failing by becoming completely free from the influence of this material world. So Brahma addressed Lord Krishna as Achyuta because the Lord is never forgetful of a little service rendered by his devotee, right? How grateful he is. He doesn't forget a little bit of service. And this is the reason that Brahma addresses him as infallible, Achyuta. We may do things for others in this world, they may do things for us. And, if we're conscious and grateful, we may express our gratitude. They may express our gratitude to us. But sometimes, by the ordinary course of events, we may forget or not sufficiently express, the gratitude that is owed, even for small things. But Krishna is Achyuta because he's never forgetful of a little service rendered by his devotee. He is so kind and affectionate toward his devotees that a little service by them is accepted by him as a great deal. He is Bhava Grahi Janardana. He accepts the essence, the intention. Just like if a small child, makes some colorful drawing, and hands it to the parent out of love, right? They run home from school. Look what I painted. Then the parent appreciates that drawing or that painting more so than, right, any great work of art. Practically, may not fetch as much, but still. It has more emotional, sentimental value. Even though the artwork itself is of no great value at all. It would be utterly rubbished if it was admitted by an adult professing to be an artist. But that effort and that offering of the child is accepted with great relish by the loving parent. So Krishna accepts even the little service offered by a devotee as a great deal. Brahma has certainly rendered much service to the Lord. As the Supreme Personality in charge of this particular universe, he is without a doubt a faithful servant of Krishna. Therefore, he could appease Krishna. He asked that the Lord understand him as a subordinate servant whose little mistake and impudence might be excused. He admitted that he was puffed up by his powerful position as Lord Brahma. Because he is the qualitative incarnation of the mode of passion within this material world, this was natural for him, and therefore he committed the mistake. Interesting. Right, because he's the qualitative incarnation of the Rajoguna mode of passion. Right? Prabhupada says, therefore, he committed the mistake. Mode of passion means there will be mistakes. You're in a rush. I just listened the other day, Srila Prabhupada said there's 4 kinds of people. Lazy intelligent, busy intelligent, lazy foolish, and busy foolish. He says the worst of them is the busy foolish. Yeah. Someone who's foolish but very busy, they will make a mess. Right? Better to be lazy foolish than busy foolish. Okay, so the mode of passion, and therefore some mistake. But Lord Brahma hoped that since he was, after all, Lord Krishna's subordinate, the Lord would kindly take compassion upon him and excuse him for his gross mistake. Lord Brahma realized his actual position. He is certainly the supreme teacher of this universe, in charge of the production of material nature, consisting of the complete material energy, false ego, sky, air, fire, water, and earth. Such a universe may be gigantic, but it can be measured, just as we measure our body as 7 spans. 7 spans. Okay. Any insights on 7 spans? 7 spans? 7 feet? Up to 7 feet, possibly? Okay, anyway. It's measurable, that's the point. It's measurable. This universe is also measurable. It's right 4 billion miles across. Isn't it? I'm right about that. Anyway, if I'm not, you can write a letter to Bhaktivedanta Manor and correct me. 4 billion miles across. Such a universe may be gigantic, but it can be measured, just as we measure our body as 7 spans. Generally, everyone's personal bodily measurement is calculated to be 7 spans of his hand. Okay, 7 spans of the hand. This particular universe may appear as a very gigantic body, but it is nothing but the measurement of 7 spans for Lord Brahma. Wow. Yeah. 7 spans for Lord Brahma. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes which are outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. Just as innumerable atomic infinitesimal fragments pass through the holes of a screened window, so millions and trillions of universes in their seedling form are coming out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. In seedling form. And that Mahavishnu is but a part of the plenary expansion of Krishna. Under these circumstances, although Lord Brahma is the supreme creature within this universe, what is his importance in the presence of Lord Krishna? The original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, he expands and again expands by a part, and again by a part and a part, and eventually coming to Mahavishnu, who lies on the causal ocean, and from his skin pores unlimited universes emanate. And in each universe there is a Brahma who is charged with the responsibility of generating all of the forms of life within that universe. So Brahma may think that he's very important, but in the grand scheme of things, right? It's a nice phrase. The grand scheme of things is not very important. What to speak of us, right? Who are like figs in comparison to Brahma. And we think we're very important. Our lives and our activities and what we do is very significant, and it should be acknowledged by the whole world. If you travel to anywhere, you realize that there are people and places everywhere. I mean, that's an obvious statement, but we tend to think of in terms of our own little area, right, and the people we meet, and our community and our workplace, our social network. And there are various personalities in performing different roles, different occupations, various relationships. But you just, drive in any direction, however long you want. You'll arrive at a place where there are, there's another community with people and similar personalities, similar types of occupation, similar types of relationships, similar types of buildings, dwellings, everything very similar. It's everywhere. Everywhere. And they know nothing about your little community. How many people on the planet now? Is it up to 8 billion yet? Yeah? Do you have a precise figure, Sheetal? Yeah? 8.5 billion, is it? Wow. How many of those 8.5 billion will we actually contact in the course of our lifetime? Right? How many, really? Some thousands, maybe? I don't know. Maybe a few thousand. How many people will we actually have any genuine, close, kind of regular interaction with? Huh? How many? Really? Would it even be 100? And how many stay with us, right, and are close to us for the majority of our life? How many? Could you count them on 2 hands, or on 1 hand? For some people, more for some than others, maybe, yeah, sure, but I mean, how many people can you really be very close to and spend a lot of time with? We're limited, very, very limited creatures. Anyway, so we're very tiny, and there are so many just like us. But the wonderful thing is that Krishna is for all of us. We may feel very tiny and insignificant because we're dwarfed by the sheer number of other human beings, by the sheer number of other living entities. Right? We don't stand out really. We're just another tiny piece, another little fragment, another little spark, another little molecule. But Krishna is for each of us. Krishna is with each of us. And He is ready to give Himself completely to each of us. So Krishna considers us very valuable. Lord Brahma realized his actual position. Okay. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes which are outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. We read this already. Let's read it again. Just as innumerable atomic, infinitesimal fragments pass through the holes of a screened window, so millions and trillions of universes in their seedling form are coming out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is but a part of the plenary expansion of Krishna. Under these circumstances, although Lord Brahma is the supreme creature within this universe, what is his importance in the presence of Lord Krishna? What a sentence. Lord Brahma, therefore, compared himself to a little child within the womb of his mother. If the child within the womb plays with his hands and legs, and while playing touches the body of the mother, is the mother offended with the child? Of course she isn't. Similarly, Lord Brahma may be a very great personality, and yet not only Brahma, but everything that be is existing within the womb of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord's energy is all-pervading. There is no place in the creation where it is not acting, right? We talked about this yesterday. Nothing but Krishna's energy. Since everything is existing within the energy of the Lord, the Brahma of this universe and the Brahmas of the many other millions and trillions of universes are existing within the energy of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is considered to be the mother, and everything existing within the womb of the mother is considered to be the child. And the good mother is never offended with the child, even if he touches the body of the mother by kicking his legs. All right, so Lord Brahma is asking Krishna to excuse him because he's just like a child in the womb of the Supreme Mother. Any reflections or questions? All good? Okay. Lord Brahma then said that his birth was from the lotus flower, which blossomed from the navel of Narayana after the dissolution of the three worlds, or three planetary systems known as Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Svarloka. The universe is divided into three divisions, namely Svarga, Martya, and Patala. Right? So you have heaven, earth, and the underground. These three planetary systems are merged into water at the time of dissolution. At that time, Narayana, a plenary portion of Krishna, lies down on the water, and gradually a lotus stem grows from his navel. And from that lotus flower, Brahma is born. It is naturally concluded that the mother of Brahma is Narayana. Because the Lord is the resting place of all the living entities after the dissolution of the universe, he is called Narayana. Right, so Narayana means the resting place of all living entities. When the universe is destroyed, then that means all the universes enter into the body of Mahavishnu. And when he exhales again, creation begins. So creation begins with Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, generating this lotus stem. And Brahma takes his birth on top of the lotus stem. Lord Vishnu does not require the help of his consort. He is able to generate Brahma by himself. Right? Therefore, it's naturally concluded that the mother of Brahma is Narayana. Because the Lord is the resting place of all the living entities after the dissolution of the universe, he is called Narayana. The word Nara means the aggregate total of all living entities, and Ayana means the resting place. The form of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is called Narayana because he rests himself on that water. In addition, he is the resting place of all living creatures. Besides that, Narayana is also present in everyone's heart, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Does anybody know that verse in Bhagavad Gita that confirms that the Lord is present in everyone's heart? The verse is, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Krishna says, I am seated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna. And all living entities are riding on a machine made of the material energy. And I rotate their bodies. I rotate these machines. So I am the soul sitting in this machine of a body. And Krishna, the Supreme Ishvara, he is with me as the super soul. And he causes me to travel from one machine to the next, and to the next, and so on. In that sense, also, the Lord is Narayana, as Ayana means the source of knowledge as well as the resting place. Okay? So, he is the resting place of all living entities, and he is the source of knowledge for all living entities. Krishna says, from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha. That's another place where he talks about being situated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hudi sannivishto. Matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am situated in everyone's heart. It's from me that you get your knowledge, your remembrance, your forgetfulness. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the remembrance of the living entity is due to the presence of the Supersoul within the heart. Right? So we are able to remember anything because Krishna is with us. He gives us that memory. After changing the body, a living creature forgets everything of his past life. But because Narayana, the Supersoul, is present within his heart, he is reminded by him to act according to his past desire. Yeah, little kids, you ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? Yeah, sometimes they're very clear. Yeah, I want to do this and that. And, right, they know what they want. Not always, okay? Because maybe they're undecided. But if they have some desire that is carried over from a previous life, it becomes manifest. Right? You can see some children are very determined for something. Krishna is giving them that remembrance and allowing them to continue in their determination. So because Narayana, the Supersoul, is present within his heart, he is reminded by him to act according to his past desire. Lord Brahma wanted to prove that Krishna is the original Narayana, and that he is the source of Narayana, and that Narayana is not an exhibition of the external energy, Maya, but is an expansion of spiritual energy. Okay, Lord Narayana is not an exhibition of matter, no. He is spiritual. The activities of the external energy, or Maya, are exhibited after the creation of this cosmic world. And the original spiritual energy of Narayana was acting before the creation. So the expansions of Narayana, from Narayana to Karanudakashaya Vishnu, from Karanudakashaya Vishnu to Garbhudakashaya Vishnu, from Garbhudakashaya Vishnu to Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, and from Kshirodakashaya Vishnu to everyone's heart, are actually Krishna's expansions. Right? So all of these expansions of the Lord, who is known as Narayana, all of them are actually Krishna's expansions, manifestations of his spiritual energy. They are not conducted by the material energy, therefore they are not temporary. Anything conducted by the material energy is temporary, but everything executed by the spiritual energy is eternal. Lord Brahma reconfirmed his statement establishing Krishna as the original Narayana. He said that the Lord's gigantic universal form is resting on the water known as Garbhudaka. He spoke as follows: this gigantic universal form is another manifestation of your energy. Okay, so the universal form essentially means everything. Everything in this universe from top to bottom. This is an expansion of Krishna's energy. On account of his resting on the water, the universal form is also Narayana. And we are all within the womb of this Narayana form. I see your different Narayana forms everywhere. I can see you on the water. I can feel you within my heart. And I can also see you before me now. You are the original Narayana. My dear Lord, in this incarnation you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. You remain within the cosmic manifestation, and yet the whole creation is within you. Alright, the Brahma Samhita says, Andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam ekopya saura chayatum jagaranda koti kotishvashesha vasudhari vibhuti binam. Yes, Andantarasta paramanu chayantarastam. The Supreme Lord is situated in every atom. All of the universes emanate from him. And simultaneously he is situated in every single atom that is scattered throughout every universe. He is within everything, and everything is within him. You remain within the cosmic manifestation, and yet the whole creation is within you. This fact has already been proved by you when you exhibited the whole universal creation within your mouth before your mother, Yashoda. By your inconceivable potency of Yoga Maya, you can effect such things without external help. Right? Remember when Mother Yashoda looked inside the mouth of Krishna? Because actually 2 times she looked inside his mouth on 2 different occasions. And each time she saw the entire creation within the Lord's mouth. My dear Lord Krishna, the whole cosmic manifestation that we are visualizing at present is all within your body. Yet I am seeing you outside, and you are also seeing me outside. Right? He's telling Krishna, right? He's talking to Krishna. He's seeing Krishna personally, and he's saying to him that this whole cosmic manifestation that we are visualizing at present, so everything that's surrounding us, all of it is within your body. Right? The body that I am visualizing, that I'm looking at, everything in this universe is inside the body that I am face to face with now. Right? Yet I am seeing you outside. Right? I'm seeing you. Even though I'm within you, I'm seeing you from outside. And you are also seeing me outside. You're also seeing me outside your body. Everything's in your body, but I'm outside your body looking at you, and you're looking at me outside your body, but I am inside you, and everything else here is inside you. How can such things happen without being influenced by your inconceivable energy? Lord Brahma stressed herein that without accepting the inconceivable energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot explain things as they are. We have to accept Krishna's inconceivable energy. He continued, "My dear Lord, leaving aside all other things and just considering today's happenings, what I have seen, are they not all due to your inconceivable energies? First of all, I saw you alone. Thereafter, you expanded yourself as your cowherd boyfriends, the calves, and the whole existence of Vrindavana. Then I saw you and all the boys and calves as 4-handed Vishnus. And they were being worshipped by all elements and all demigods, including myself. Again, they were all wound up, and you remained alone as you were before. Does this not mean that you are the Supreme Lord Narayana, the origin of everything? That everything emanates from you and again enters into you, leaving you the same as before?" Any reflections, questions, anything? No? Okay. Right, so Brahma is describing what has happened today. Right? First, he says, "I saw you alone." Right? Then I saw you expanding as all these boys and calves. Then I saw each of these boys and calves as 4-handed Vishnus. And each of them were being worshipped by all the universal elements, all the demigods, including myself. I witnessed all of that. And again, they were wound up, right? They folded back into the body of the Lord. And you remained alone as you were before. Persons who are unaware of your inconceivable energy cannot understand that you alone expand yourself as the creator, Brahma, the maintainer, Vishnu, and the annihilator, Shiva. Persons who are not in awareness of things as they are contemplate that I, Brahma, am the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Lord Shiva is the annihilator, right? So there was a couple at the beginning of the reading about 45 minutes ago or more. And he said to me, "Do you know Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh?" Because I was introducing this topic of Lord Brahma. So he says, "Do you know Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh?" So we said, yes, and Vishnu is the maintainer. Lord Brahma is responsible for creation. Lord Shiva is responsible for destruction. Lord Vishnu maintains it all. But both Brahma and Shiva are working under the empowerment of Vishnu, right? He gives them the ability to do their duties. Anyway, but here's Lord Brahma saying that persons who are not in awareness of things as they are contemplate that I, Brahma, am the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Lord Shiva is the annihilator. Actually, you alone are everything. Creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Similarly, you expand yourself in different incarnations. Among the demigods, you incarnate as Vamanadev. Among the great sages, you incarnate as Parashurama. Among the human beings, you appear as yourself, Lord Krishna, or as Lord Rama. Among the animals, you appear as the boar incarnation, Vrahadev, right? His appearance is on Friday. And among the aquatics, you appear as the fish incarnation, Matsya. And yet, you have no appearance or disappearance. You are always eternal. Your appearance and disappearance are made possible by your inconceivable energy just to give protection to the faithful devotees and to annihilate the faithless demons. O my Lord, O all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, controller of all mystic powers, no one can appreciate your transcendental pastimes as they are exhibited within these three worlds. No one can estimate how you have expanded your Yoga Maya and your incarnations, and how you act by your transcendental energy. My dear Lord, this whole cosmic manifestation is just like a flashing dream, and its temporary existence simply disturbs the mind. Right? Just a dream that is disturbing to the mind. As a result, we are full of anxiety in this existence. To live within this material world means simply to suffer and to be full of all miseries. Right? We would be accused of being excessively pessimistic here, right? But this is just the reality. Dukhala yama shashvatam. This material world is temporary and full of miseries. Because even the so-called happiness is simply a temporary respite from the problem. And as you get older, you realize this is really a bad deal. Yeah. You're not intelligent enough when you're young to actually appreciate it and use it wisely. Yeah. And then by the time you get a little wisdom, or maybe just old age makes you wise. Yeah, and it humbles you out somewhat. It's very rare to find someone who is youthful and grounded, sober, humble, and yes, sober, dhira, and knowing what is a wise investment of their time and attention. It's very rare to find a young person like that. They exist, of course. But special people. Most young people are just blowing their brains out. Hare Krishna. They're wasting their intelligence and their energy on intoxication, all kinds of things. And then they pay for it later, pay the bill. Yeah. And then they look back with regret. Oh, if I had only done this, if I had only focused, if I had only, curbed my tendency to party. Yeah. Lamenting. Okay, where did we get to? Yes, this whole cosmic manifestation is just like a flashing dream. Its temporary existence simply disturbs the mind. As a result, we are full of anxiety in this existence. To live within this material world simply means to suffer and to be full of all miseries. And yet, this temporary existence of the material world appears to be pleasing and dear on account of its having evolved from your body, which is eternal and full of bliss and knowledge. Right? This is an interesting sentence. So even though it's just misery here, it appears to be pleasing and dear because it has evolved from Krishna's body. That's why it appears to be of value. Yeah? We actually don't know its real value, yeah? Because we think that it's meant for my purpose, my enjoyment. Its real value is for Krishna's enjoyment, Krishna's purpose. Okay, Lord Brahma continues, my conclusion is, therefore, that you are the Supreme Soul, the Absolute Truth, and the Supreme Original Person. And although by your inconceivable transcendental potencies you have expanded yourself in so many Vishnu forms, and also in the living entities and other energies, you are the Supreme One without a second, the Supreme Super Soul. The innumerable living entities are simply like sparks of the original fire, your Lordship. Okay, so Brahma is giving this example. The Lord is like the original fire, and all the other living entities are like little sparks. The conception of the Supreme as impersonal is wrong, because I see that you are the original person. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge may think that because you are the son of Maharaj Nanda, you are not the original person, that you were born just like a human being. Okay? Ignorant people think like this, right? They are mistaken. You are the actual original person. That is my conclusion. In spite of your being the son of Nanda, you are the original person, and there is no doubt about it. Krishna is just playing. It's not that he is begotten by a father. Rather, his father appears from him. But he plays the part of a son. You are the absolute truth, and you are not of this material darkness. You are the source of the original Brahma Jyoti, as well as the material luminaries, the sun, moon, and stars. Your transcendental effulgence is identical with the Brahma Jyoti. And it is described in the Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Jyoti is nothing but your personal bodily effulgence. Right? Brahma Jyoti. Are we clear what Brahma Jyoti is? Brahma Jyoti? Brahma Jyoti means that light which emanates from the Supreme Absolute Truth. Krishna's effulgence, his glow, his radiance. Yeah? And that Brahma Jyoti, that light, is the cause of the material world. All the material universes are resting on that Brahma Jyoti. And that Brahma Jyoti is resting on Krishna. Brahmanuhi pratishtaham, he says in Bhagavad Gita. So it's also, in the spiritual world, that's known as the Paravyoma, the spiritual abode. All of the Vaikuntha planets, all the spiritual planets are floating in that Brahma Jyoti effulgence of Krishna. Yes? And the material world is nothing but that Brahma Jyoti covered by ignorance, another of Krishna's energies. Actually, simply another form of the Brahma Jyoti. Everything is actually Brahman because it emanates from the Absolute Truth. It emanates from Krishna. Everything is Brahman because it can't be anything else, because there is nothing else but Krishna and his energy. So, the Brahma Jyoti is nothing but your personal bodily effulgence. There are many Vishnu incarnations and incarnations of your different qualities, but all those incarnations are not on the same level. You are the original lamp. Other incarnations may possess the same candle power as the original lamp, but the original lamp is the beginning of all light. Right? What a perfect explanation, perfect sentence, right? Srila Prabhupada has given us. Other incarnations may possess the same candle power as the original lamp, but the original lamp is the beginning of all light. I can take a candle, my original light, and I can light so many other candles, and each candle that I have lit has the same candle power as the original candle, but still, there's one candle that is the beginning of all the other lights. That's Krishna. He is the original person. And because you are not one of the creations of this material world, even after the annihilation of this world, your existence as you are will continue. Because you are the original person, you are described in the Gopalatapani Upanishad, as well as in the Brahma Samhita, as Govindam Adi Purusham. Govinda is the original person, the cause of all causes. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is stated that you are the source of the Brahman effulgence. No one should conclude that your body is like an ordinary material body. Your body is Akshara, indestructible. Right? Krishna is the real Superman. His body is indestructible. The material body is always full of threefold miseries, but your body is Satchid Ananda Vigraha, full of bliss, knowledge, and eternality. You are also Niranjana, because your pastimes as the little son of Mother Yashoda, or the lover of the gopis, are never contaminated by the material qualities. So therefore Krishna is called Niranjana, because all of his activities, there's nothing material about them whatsoever. And although you exhibited yourself as so many cowherd boys and calves, your transcendental potency was not reduced. This is very important, right? One may think, oh, Krishna had to expand himself as all these boys and calves, therefore it must have cost him something. Huh? He mustn't be as complete as he was when he didn't expand. No. Your transcendental potency was not reduced. You were always complete. As it is described in the Vedic literature, even if the complete is taken away from the complete, the Supreme Absolute Truth, it remains the complete Supreme Absolute Truth. Right? Ishopanishad, the invocation begins, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Urachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. The Lord is perfect and complete. And even though so many units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. That's the nature of spirit. You can take something away, ostensibly, you can take something away from spirit, but the spirit remains whole. In the material realm, 1 minus 1 equals 0. But spiritually, I can take 1 away from 1 and still have 1. 1 still is there, even though 1 has come from 1. I've simply, spiritual mathematics means that if I take 1 from 1, 1 still remains as 1. That's the Lord. He's unlimited, infinite. Whatever He gives and whatever anyone could conceivably take from Him, He is not diminished in any way. Any reflections or questions? No? Okay. Although many expansions from the complete are visible, the complete is one without a second. Or one without a second means that He has no equal or competitor. Right? There's nobody coming from any other place that says, hey, right, I am your equal, I'm your competitor, let's fight this out for supremacy. It's like, there is no second existence. There is only Krishna. And everything that comes from Krishna. That's it. That's all there is. Since all your pastimes are spiritual, there is no possibility of their being contaminated by the material modes of nature. When you place yourself as subordinate to your father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda, you are not reduced in your potency. This is an expression of your loving attitude toward your devotees. There is no second identity to compete with you. A person with a poor fund of knowledge concludes that your appearance and pastimes are simply material designations. You are transcendental to both nations and knowledge, and it is confirmed in the Gopala Upanishad. As it is confirmed there, sorry. You are the original Amrita, indestructible nectar of immortality. As confirmed in the Vedas, Amritam, Shashvatam, Brahma. Brahman is the eternal, the supreme origin of everything, who has no birth or death. In the Upanishads, it is stated that the supreme Brahman is as effulgent as the sun and is the origin of everything, and that anyone who can understand that original person becomes liberated from the material conditioned life. Anyone who can simply be attached to you by devotional service can know your actual position, birth, appearance, disappearance, and activities. As attachment, you can know what you love. St. Augustine, he talked about the primacy of the will in knowledge. What you're interested in, what you care about, what you love, what concerns you, you can find out all about it, you can know it. But if there's no interest, then, there's no development of knowledge, really. And especially if you really love somebody, then they become knowable to you. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, simply by understanding your constitutional position, appearance and disappearance, one can be immediately elevated to the spiritual kingdom after quitting this present body. Right? Krishna says, Janma, karma, chame divyam, evam yo vedi tatvata, tyaktva punarjanma, naiti mameti sorjana. If you know the transcendental nature of my appearance and my activities, then you never have to come back here. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Quitting this body, punarjanma naiti. You never have to take birth again. Rather, you come to me. Mam eti sorjana. You come to me. How? Just by knowing that my appearance in this world and my activities are all divyam. They're all transcendental, spiritual. They're not of this world. I think about this verse quite a lot, So does it mean that if someone simply accepts, yes, that Krishna's appearance and activities are spiritual, if we simply just accept that, we just believe that, then we are immediately elevated to the spiritual kingdom after quitting this present body. Well, Krishna says it, so it must be true. Wow. So then that's our work, isn't it? If we actually want to be elevated to the spiritual kingdom after quitting this body, what do we have to do? We have to simply understand the Lord's constitutional position, appearance and disappearance. That's what we have to understand. So Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, right, of which this Krishna book is the essence, they're actually, they're bringing us out of this material world. Because they're giving us this faith and knowledge that Krishna's birth and activities are all spiritual. If we accept it, if we know it, and sincerely accept it, simply, then we can be immediately elevated at the time of death. Yes, sir.
So may I ask what chapter and verse that is?
This is Bhagavad Gita being quoted, and it will be chapter 4. Which verse? One of the early verses. I'll just get my bag, and I'll get my Bhagavad Gita, and I'll give you the exact verse.
I sort of dozed off and I missed something very, very salient that you mentioned just now.
That's okay.
I don't know how to pick up this.
Now I wish I was the Flash, and I could grab my my book bag.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I want to know too.
Okay. Thank you.
In about 5 minutes, we're going to have Bhagavad Gita class, and today it has fallen to me to give the Bhagavad Gita class, so we'll have to wrap up shortly. Chapter 4. Yes, 9. 4:9. Chapter 4, verse 9.
1990.
4:09. Chapter 4, text 9. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So we may question, what does it really mean to know that Krishna's appearance and activities are transcendental? That could be discussed. But if you want to be really safe, sure about it, to know it means to realize it. To realize it. Not just on the theoretical platform. Okay. Where did we get to? No problem. Therefore, to cross over the ocean of material nations, an intelligent person takes shelter of your lotus feet and is easily transferred to the spiritual world. So, that's the method. If we want out of this hell, most people don't know it's hell because they don't know anything better. They think it's fine. It's not fine. It's a tough position. We're just callous to the reality of it. But if we want out, if we recognize this is not a good situation for me, and if we want out, then here's a simple answer, here's a simple process. Take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, and you'll be easily transferred to the spiritual world. So what's the next question? What should be the obvious question, the glaring question for anyone who's serious about getting out? What's the glaring question? The glaring question is, how do I take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet? What does it mean to take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet? Any ideas? Yes, certainly, yes.
Surrender unto him.
Surrender unto Krishna. Yeah.
And to some extent, release yourself from the material world.
Yes, you have to surrender to Krishna. So at the end of Bhagavad Gita, the prescription is given by the Lord himself, 1866, in the purport. Srila Prabhupada helps us to understand it. There are 6 items of surrender. But specifically to take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord means to render service to his devotee, his dear devotee. And also, in this Kali Yuga, Krishna incarnates as Srimad Bhagavatam. And the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? Actually, first and second cantos, you can say. So if we take shelter of the first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, then we can easily be transferred to the spiritual world. The books are there. They simply have to be opened and heard. They are equivalent. They are non-different from the Lord's lotus feet. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's smiling face. The first and the second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are Krishna's lotus feet. And these books are available, but who knows that simply by hearing in them, in the association of devotees, right? Submissively receiving Srila Prabhupada's purports, that one can attain all perfection. Who knows? Okay, it has just gone 6, and we're going to have Bhagavad Gita class. Yeah, looks like I'm going to be setting up myself. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes. And we will get into it. Today's verse is 4:28. No. Okay. It's a bit of a slow day today, huh? Are there many people in reception, or you're not sure? Okay, yeah. Prasadam always attracts customers. All right. So Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, I can't put it on the screen right now for you, but our process is hearing, yeah? So it doesn't matter even if we're not able to read. If we're able to hear, it works. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories unto the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, we are reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. Our text for today is 428. But just so that nobody is feeling lost, we'll try to give a little context. Yeah? Chapter 4 is called Transcendental Knowledge. And let me just try to give some kind of an overview using my good old notes, my trusted notes. Okay. So, in this chapter, for the first 10 verses, Lord Krishna gives transcendental knowledge about himself. Yes? In text 30 of the previous chapter, to perform the highest level of karma yoga, which means surrendering all of one's works unto Krishna, one must know who Krishna is. Yes? So if you're actually going to be able to perform your work, dedicating it for the Lord, then it would really help if you know something about the Lord, who He is, and why you would want to dedicate your work to Him. So Krishna is the Absolute Truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who comes to the world to protect eternal Dharma. One who knows this is factually liberated. Yes. So that's established in the first 10 verses of the 4th chapter. The Lord says that whenever there is a decline in religion and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend. Yeah? And I come here to protect my devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, those who are opposed to me. Because those who are opposed to the Lord, opposed to God, they tend to create hell on earth. They create a difficult situation for everybody on earth. And therefore, Krishna comes to relieve the burden of the world. Bhu Bhara. He comes to relieve the earth's burden. And in doing so, he also gives pleasure to his devotees. Okay. Let me just adjust the mic, sorry. Okay, then, from text 11 to 15, Krishna elaborates on how he is the ultimate goal of knowledge, continuing to explain his supreme position. And here he explains that actions are spiritual, they're transcendental, when they're executed in full knowledge of Krishna. Knowledge of Krishna as the supreme goal of all paths, and he who awards the results of all work. So we might wonder, how can my work and everything that I do in my day-to-day life, how can it be dedicated to Krishna? How can it become karma yoga? Well, first of all, we have to know something about Krishna so that we're inspired to offer our work and the results to Him. Yeah? And then we also need to understand how Krishna is the goal of every activity, the goal of all paths. Yeah? The goal of karma, the goal of jnana, the goal of mystic yoga. The ultimate goal of all of these paths is Krishna. Actually, the complete path is described as bhakti yoga. That's the complete path. And the Bhakti Yoga path culminates in, what do you think? What do you think Bhakti Yoga path results in? Where's the destination? You didn't think there would be any questions till the end, but I'm bringing you questions now. Moksha? Okay. And what does moksha look like? Pardon? Oh, good, yes. Real liberation means situated in your svarup. Means to know who I am, what is my relationship specifically with Krishna. Am I Krishna's intimate servant? Am I his friend as an equal? Do I have a parental relationship with him? Do I consider him like my child? Or am I Krishna's lover? What is my relationship with Krishna? So that is the goal of yoga. And therefore it's called Bhakti Yoga, because you cannot have a relationship with someone, really, an eternal relationship especially, unless you love them. And the love of Krishna is existing in everybody's heart. It's already there. It just has to be woken, just has to be revived. So the path is Bhakti Yoga. And every other so-called path is simply a step in that direction. Right? Okay. And the Lord is the ultimate goal of that Bhakti Yoga path. In the beginning, we may perform karma and make it karma yoga by connecting it to Krishna, by sacrificing some results of our work, or by dedicating the work itself for Krishna's pleasure. Both. That sacrifice will culminate in greater knowledge. As we get more and more knowledge, we may be more inclined to hearing about, studying the nature of the Lord, understanding Him from the position of contemplation or analysis. Yeah. So we might spend more time in study when we're more interested in Krishna. Yes. When that knowledge increases to the point of meditation, where we're always thinking about Krishna, contemplating Him, meditating on His name, form, qualities, pastimes, absorption, then you can say it is dhyana, or yes. The purpose of the Ashtanga Yoga system is to see the Supersoul within one's heart. So when knowledge of Krishna culminates in meditation on Krishna and seeing Him within your heart, then you have reached the culmination of the Ashtanga Yoga system. But you're not there all the way yet. You haven't completed the path. Because next is you want to not just meet the Supersoul in your heart, but you actually want to meet the origin of the Supersoul. You want to meet Sri Krishna as He is, the personality of Godhead, face to face. And that will require complete love, complete bhakti, prema bhakti. So between sacrificing the results of your work, trying not to be selfish and dedicating them to God, to increasing knowledge about who the Lord is, to meditating upon Him, realizing His presence everywhere, and ultimately meeting Him face to face and having a direct loving relationship with Him, this describes the path of bhakti. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, and Ashtanga yoga, they are but steps on that path, phases of that path. Okay, then, from text 16 to 24, after explaining Krishna's own transcendental position, the Lord describes how to perform activities on the transcendental plane. It is necessary to explain this because of the common misconception that all work is material and spiritual life is limited to stereotypical renunciation. Right? A lot of people think like this, don't they? Huh? Spiritual life means you just drop everything and go live in the temple, or disappear into the forest, or walk up the mountain never to return. No, that's not spiritual life. All work is not material. Not necessarily so. It is possible to perform spiritual work. So the misconception that all work is material is brought about because practically all work in the world is initiated by selfish desire, which brings karmic reaction. So practically everybody in this material world is working for their own purpose. I want to get something. I want to be something in order to get something. Yeah? I want to have certain things in order to feel a certain way. Generally, it is centered around my own particular sense of happiness and pleasure. And therefore, whatever is acceptable to me for my own pleasure, I want it. And whatever does not increase my pleasure or add to my own personal satisfaction, then I want to avoid it. Everything is about me, me, me. I, me, and mine. And then the work we do for that purpose, naturally it's selfish. And that kind of work brings karmic reaction. Because if I want the results for myself, then I also have to pay the bill. So whatever the consequences of my work are, I must face them, now or in the future, in this life or another life. But the bill has to be paid if I want to enjoy the work and any of the benefits of the work. Because in the course of performing my own selfish activities and satisfying my own selfish desires, then there's a good chance I will encroach upon somebody else's right, or I will take advantage. Or I will be taking advantage of someone else's energy, and I will owe them something. At some point, it has to be paid. Must be paid. Okay, so this is karma. By introducing Bhakti Yoga, Krishna delineates a method of action that is free from selfishness. Right, this is such a relief. Acting in Bhakti Yoga, one remains uninfluenced by karmic reaction. Okay, so material work produces material reactions. Well, we don't want that, because that means I will suffer. So children, Haribol, children, Hare Krishna. You can hear me? You understand my language? You understand English? Yeah? English? No English? Okay. So you have to hear. We come to the temple to hear. So you have to hear. Yeah? You try to hear. So Bhakti Yoga is that process that allows us to perform spiritual action. Otherwise, it's all material action. And material action equals suffering. But it's really hard to give up. How am I supposed to stop acting? I have to act. So what kind of actions can I perform that won't result in suffering? So Krishna is giving that. Bhakti Yoga. Those are the actions that you can do that will not entail your suffering. That will eliminate all suffering. Okay. Then, from text 25 to 33. And then today's verse we'll deal with now, because that's number 28. Having explained that sacrifice uncovers Brahman, or the absolute truth, Krishna now lists different types of sacrifice. Okay, so we have to be quiet, otherwise, we can play and talk outside. I don't mind, right, because I get to talk. I can hear myself very well. But other people who are trying to hear the class may be disturbed. It's okay. At 7 o'clock we have Arti. 7, yeah, okay, good. So sacrifices lead to transcendental knowledge. Okay, acting in pure devotional service is called akarma. All right, we have karma, material action. Akarma means no reaction. This is because karmic reaction is a result of fruitive consciousness and not of activity itself. So if my consciousness is selfish or fruitive, right, I want to enjoy the results, I want to enjoy the fruits, yeah, then I have to get the reaction, the karma. But if my action is for the benefit of the Lord, who is the ultimate beneficiary, he's supposed to be the beneficiary. Why? Because everything belongs to him. He says in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagitabasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He says, I am the supreme and I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices, austerities, and I am the possessor of all places, all planets. So everything belongs to Krishna. He owns it, so naturally it should be for him to enjoy. He should be the beneficiary of all action and all elements. Everything is meant for his pleasure, his enjoyment. And he's the best friend of every living entity. So if we start working, acting, living for his sake, then our activity produces no material reaction, no karma. Because our consciousness is to please God. Our consciousness is to serve God, to honor God. And we can do that even in our daily occupational duties. And there will be no karmic reaction because I'm not working for me. I'm working for Krishna. This is to satisfy him. Okay. So to learn the art of proper activity and to distinguish it from improper action, one must follow those who have mastered the art themselves. One cannot concoct a method to achieve liberation from karma. Right? We have to follow authorities. So this is the great art of work. I can work in the world, I can act in the world, and actually all of my work is akarma, or what Krishna describes as inaction in action. Even though I'm acting, even though I'm very busy, right, I'm coaching the kids on the tennis court, my activity is actually inaction, which means it's not material action, it's spiritual action. Okay? And in the same way, one could try to avoid all material karma, disappear up the mountain, and apparently be inactive, but they're very much materially active, even just by sitting and breathing, because they're doing it for their own selfish purpose. That is action in inaction. You think you're not doing anything, but you're actually wasting your energy on a selfish purpose. So naturally you'll get a material result. Okay. Arjuna had the idea that he could free himself from sinful reaction by refraining from activity. Yeah? I don't want to get involved in this war. I don't want to be responsible, and I don't want to accept the consequences. I don't want to have this come back at me. So I'm not going to get involved here. This is a really bad idea. This is what he thought. And I will avoid all of the sinful reactions by leaving this place. Yeah? But because his desire to refrain from activity was based heavily on fruitive desire and material attachment to family, therefore his inactivity would actually bring about karma, karmic reaction. Because what was his purpose? He wanted to leave the battlefield not to please Krishna, but to please himself. Right? I don't want to fight with my family. I see so many future disasters as a result of this war. He's considering himself and his extended self. His extended self means family members and the rest of human society. He didn't consider the ultimate extension of his self, or rather the source of his self. That's the point he was missing. Yeah? We're very much concerned with me and what I consider to be mine. And I will act for the benefit of those people. And by doing that, we are completely missing the center. The center is Krishna, the source of all selves, the self of all selves, the soul of all souls. If I think about what is in Krishna's interest, and I act for that, then I'm really taking care of my self-interest. So Arjuna thought that by avoiding the war, he would avoid karmic reaction. But actually he got it backward. By the very act of avoiding the war, he was creating karma, because avoiding the war was selfish. Okay. So karma is a reaction to material consciousness, not just the activity. One can live freely and confidently by acting in awareness of his eternal servitorship to the Lord. That is the way to transcendental action. Transcendental knowledge is like a fire that permeates one's activities and burns their reactions to ash. So whatever I'm doing, that activity should be infused with transcendental knowledge, knowledge of Krishna and my relationship with him. Krishna describes the characteristics of one who works in transcendental knowledge. The main characteristic is that his actions are not impelled by desires for sense gratification. Right? He's not acting to get something for his immediate bodily senses. That's not why he's doing it. Other symptoms of a person who's acting spiritually, what are they? He's detached from the fruits of his work. Whether he gets a lot or a little, it doesn't concern him or her. He's simply satisfied with the service, with the work itself. Right? He's self-satisfied. In other words, satisfied in the position of working for Krishna, taking satisfaction in the soul. He's self-controlled. He desires only necessities of life to keep body and soul together. He's free from the concept of proprietorship. He knows that everything in the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Ishavasamiram sarvam yatkancha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita magara kasya sivdanam. Right? Not trying to take from anybody else, and not thinking himself to be the possessor of everything in his world. So if I know that, my coat doesn't really belong to me, it's a gift from the Lord for, keeping me warm and so that I can actually prosecute my devotional service and I don't have to be disturbed by the cold, right? And then if that coat is taken away, I don't have to be bent out of shape about it. Right? Krishna can help me to get another coat, but it's not my coat. Everything belongs to God. Okay, he's free from the delusion of duality. In the material world, we're very much affected by the ups and the downs, the changing of the seasons, the happiness and the distress, the pleasure and the pain. But these are simply external to my real self. These are impositions on my body and my mind, but I am not my body or my mind. So one who is transcendentally situated tolerates the heat and the cold, the advantages and the disadvantages, the good and the bad, the gain and the loss. He just sees it coming and going, and he doesn't identify with either the positive or the negative. For himself, he doesn't, if he gets something of great value, right, he doesn't consider, this is for me, it's made my day. And if he loses something, he's not crying, oh, look what I've lost because he's not thinking about his personal enjoyment. He's thinking about how to please Krishna. And if he gains or loses something, that does not affect Krishna's enjoyment. His service can go on unimpeded. He's simply concerned how I can perform my service for Krishna to the best of my ability. And for that purpose, he is prepared to do his best and to use everything in his or her sphere. Okay, he or she is also free from envy. Right? Knowing that everybody gets the results of their own work. If they get something good, hey, they deserve it. They must have done something nice in the past, so that they're getting such a great result now. He's not envious of anybody, because he knows that Krishna and Krishna's material energy is fair. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman, Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai. He knows that it's all fair, it's a perfect arrangement, and everybody gets what is due to them. And therefore he's steady in both success and failure. Because success and failure aren't important for oneself. What is important is that I try for success to please Krishna. Yeah? And if I don't get the success, that's Krishna's business. Because he is the controller of the result. He is the giver of the result. So my responsibility is to try my best in my service. Whatever service that is, whatever situation I may be in, whatever my duty is in my work, in my relationships, right? Whatever my duty is to do my best at my duty. And I can't really control whether the outcome will be, the fantasy that I imagine. I can't control that it will be the absolute best outcome that I wish for. It might be a great outcome, and it might not be a great outcome. But whatever the outcome, I'm steady in my work, because success or failure don't faze me. They don't derail me. I don't get completely discouraged if there's failure. And I'm not overwhelmed with success either, such that I can't continue. Some people get a lot of success and immediately they give up the thing that brought them the success. Right? Because now they're just concerned with enjoying the results. But a spiritual person acting spiritually for Krishna in the world, they're concerned with their service. And if they get a nice result, they consider that this result belongs to Krishna. It's not for me to enjoy. So therefore, they can happily give the result to Krishna and continue with their work, their service. Yes, Mataji? If we're enjoying it, doesn't Krishna enjoy with us?
Like if you work hard and you want to enjoy something, then as you're enjoying it, isn't Krishna enjoying it?
So we enjoy only with, devotee thinks that my enjoyment is only from Krishna. If I enjoy anything, it is only from Krishna. So that's called prasadam, right? The Lord's mercy. I am not... Yeah, if the devotee experiences some enjoyment in the course of performing their service, they think this is Krishna's mercy. He's allowing me to enjoy, but we don't get carried away by that, right? We don't get, and by the same token, if as a result of performing my work or my service, I don't enjoy, or there's some inconvenience, some difficulty, some suffering, the devotee is also thinking, this is Krishna's mercy, right? Krishna is purifying me, right? Krishna wants me to learn something. Krishna wants me to develop tolerance, determination, all these things. So whether the devotee gets difficulty or pleasure, she thinks this is Krishna's mercy. But he doesn't want his pleasure from any source except Krishna. If Krishna decides to give me happiness, I'll accept it. If he wants it, I'll accept it. And if he doesn't want, that's all right. But I won't accept it unless Krishna gives it. I won't accept it unless Krishna approves it, unless he sanctions it.
Everything we get is because Krishna sanctioned it, isn't it? Whether it be negative or positive.
Yes. He definitely sanctions. But then the thing is, what comes to us, how are we going to use it? Yeah? Nice example is Sudama Vipra, Krishna's friend. we know this story, right? He was very poor. And his wife was disturbed, not least because, she was concerned for her husband and thought that he was suffering. So she asked him to go to the Lord, who is his friend. And she thought, certainly Krishna will help you in your impoverished condition. So just to please her, he went. He didn't think, oh yeah, you're right. If I go to Krishna, then I'm gonna get something good, right? I'll walk out of here with a win. No, he thought, okay, to please my wife, to keep her happy, because she's asked, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go and visit, and it'll be a great opportunity to see my friend. Yeah, he wasn't thinking I'm gonna get something. He was thinking I can go and see my friend. So when he went there, the Lord received him and worshipped him as according to his Brahminical status. And when he left the next day, it didn't appear that he had received anything, right? But when he arrived home, he saw that his native place had been, completely transformed. Where his old rundown homestead was, there was now a great palace that rivaled the King of Heaven. His wife was gorgeously dressed and decorated. So many other denizens of that place were walking around, looking magnificent. He entered the palace, and he began to think, how is this possible? How is it possible? And he concluded, this just simply is the grace and the gift of my dear friend Krishna. Who does not always give such gifts into the hands of his devotees, if he thinks that such gifts will be detrimental to one's consciousness. But when the devotee is mature, sober, and understands things in their proper position, then the Lord is happy to give, because he knows he can trust that devotee. The devotee won't get carried away. So Sudama suddenly has all this wealth. What did he go, yippee, payday, let's have a party, and get up to, right? Let's get up to every nefarious activity we could because we've got all this money now. No. He thought, this is the mercy of Lord Krishna. Let me engage all of it in his service. He accepted all of it as the Lord's prasadam. So he's prepared to accept the opulence. It's not that, what's this? I've now got a palace. I don't want it. I can't accept it. I'm a renouncer. Yeah? Can't enjoy this palace. I'm going to sleep in the hut, right? With the hole in the roof and the water coming in, right? I'm not going near that palace. No, he didn't think like that. He thought, Krishna has given me this palace. I'm going to exist in it and engage every square inch of it in glorifying the Lord. Is that okay? We better get on to the verse, huh? All right. Okay, very quickly. So acting in a devotional mood with freedom from the desire for sense gratification uncovers the spiritual nature. In this way, acts of sacrifice connect one with transcendence. Okay, so we're talking about sacrifice. Sacrifice connects us with transcendence. The problem is the opposite of sacrifice. What's that? Hedonism. Sense gratification, narrow sense gratification. That's the problem. That narrow sense gratification simply reinforces the idea that I am the enjoyer, I am the center, everything is meant for me. But sacrifice means you cultivate the consciousness that I am not the beneficiary, I am not the center. By offering my work, my mind, my body, my words, by offering it, right, for the greater good, then I can cultivate the consciousness of servant, part of the whole. And that is proper consciousness. Right? So, sacrifice uncovers one's spiritual nature. Maya, or illusion, is that which covers spirit. The desire for sense gratification invokes that illusion. Right? We make ourselves the center of enjoyment. And detachment from sense gratification dissolves Maya and thus reveals spirit. So if I'm not concerned with my own immediate have to get, have to enjoy, if that's not my focus, and rather I'm concerned with how to get for Krishna, how to see to Krishna's enjoyment, how to please Krishna, then that generates knowledge. So if I'm engaged in activities of sacrifice, then knowledge comes. Right? Causeless knowledge and detachment, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. If we engage in Bhakti Yoga, right, we spend some time sacrificing our energy to hear about Krishna, to chant His holy names on our japa beads, right, to perform some menial service in the temple, to work hard all day, and then take some of the paycheck and give it to Radha Gokulananda. Right? These are all acts of sacrifice, and they all purify the consciousness and increase our knowledge, real knowledge. Constitutionally, everyone and everything is meant for the pleasure and enjoyment of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is not possible to fulfill a desire for personal enjoyment separate from God. Because everyone and everything, including me, is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Right? People don't like it, that's why they're not coming here. They don't like the idea that I exist for God's enjoyment. Everyone's running around like crazy, trying to exist for their own enjoyment and forget God. Yeah? But to afford the living entities with a sense of satisfaction, Krishna allows them to have the illusion that things are separate from the Lord, and thus available for their own enjoyment. So Krishna gives this place of illusion, so that we can imagine that we are the center of enjoyment. When one sacrifices, he compromises his enjoying spirit and thus uncovers Brahman. Yes? You do something for the other. Everyone appreciates that. Oh, look at the sacrifice they made. Look how much money they gave in charity. Right? He sacrificed his life to save that cat. Yeah? And then, there's a throng of people following the coffin, right? Because of the great sacrifice the person made. Everyone appreciates sacrifice. Because it is for the benefit of something other than oneself and one's bodily senses. And who is the ultimate right beneficiary of sacrifice? It is the complete whole. Not just one limb, not just one cat, yeah? Not just one charity. It is the complete whole. What is the complete whole? The complete whole is the complete personality of Godhead, Krishna. So if we make some sacrifice for Krishna, then that is the greatest appreciation. So, from text 25 to 33, the theme is that sacrifices lead to transcendental knowledge. Having explained that sacrifice uncovers Brahman or spirit, Krishna now lists different types of sacrifice. There are different sacrifices prescribed according to one's level of realization. Right? And these sacrifices elevate the consciousness toward transcendental knowledge. So some people maybe aren't able to just sacrifice their identity, the things they enjoy, the kind of work they like, their clothes, their house, their car. They can't just give it all up and sit under a tree and chant Hare Krishna. Yeah? If that was the only sacrifice available for purification, then, a lot of people wouldn't get too far. So the Vedas prescribe various sacrifices to, help us in the right direction, to get us there. So today's verse is 428. I felt that this preamble was necessary. We want to understand things in a broad context. Okay. So text 28. The Lord says, Dravya yajnastapo yajna, yoga yajnastatapare, svadhyaya jnana yajnascha, yajnascha, yataya samshita vrta. Okay. So we'll read the English. There are others. Okay, so the Lord has already described different kinds of sacrifice. Yes? He says that some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. And some of them offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. So some sacrifice for the pleasure of demigods, and others sacrifice for the pleasure of the Absolute Supreme. Some sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of the controlled mind. Yeah? So it's a sacrifice to actually sit down and concentrate and listen. That's a sacrifice. To control your senses in the fire of the controlled mind. To not run after the demands of the senses, but to attempt to control them. That's a sacrifice. And others sacrifice the objects of the senses, such as sound, in the fire of sacrifice. Anything that we have to deal with, work with, anything that comes our way through our senses, these are all objects, right? And if those objects are connected to the Lord and His service and His prescriptions in the Vedas, then they can become sacrifice. Those who are interested in self-realization in terms of mind and sense control offer the functions of all the senses, as well as the vital force, the breath, as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. So he's specifically indicating yogis, right, who restrain their active senses, who control themselves, who don't allow their senses to just go anywhere and everywhere. And that's sacrifice. So then, text 28, the Lord says, there are others who, enlightened by sacrificing their material possessions in severe austerities, take strict vows and practice the yoga of eightfold mysticism. Okay, their sacrifice is specifically of material possessions. They perform severe austerities, giving up so many things, including sleep, food, drink, right? Giving up these things. They take strict vows and they practice the yoga of eightfold mysticism, Ashtanga yoga. And others study the Vedas for the advancement of transcendental knowledge. That's a sacrifice, to study the Vedas. Okay, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. These sacrifices may be fitted into various divisions. There are persons who are sacrificing their possessions in the form of various kinds of charities. Yeah? Obvious, right? You give something that you consider belongs to you, and you give it away to someone else who you consider needs it more. In India, the rich mercantile community or princely orders open various kinds of charitable institutions like Dharmashala, Anakshetra, Atitishala, Anatalaya, Vidyapita, etc. In other countries too, there are many hospitals, old age homes, and similar charitable foundations meant for distributing food, education, and medical treatment free to the poor. All these charitable activities are called Dravya Maya Yagya, right? Giving away Dravya in sacrifice. Okay? I could enjoy it for myself. Yeah, I could buy a private jet. I could go on holiday for a year. But instead, I'm going to give all of it to these, needy people. Dravya Maya Yagya. There are others who, for a higher elevation in life, or for a promotion to higher planets within the universe, voluntarily accept many kinds of austerities, such as Chandrayana and Chaturmasya. These processes entail severe vows for conducting life under certain rigid rules. For example, under the Chaturmasya vow, the candidate does not shave for 4 months during the year, July to October. Okay? Not shaving. So that's not a problem for some people. Yeah? He does not eat certain foods. Yeah, they can't do this. Does not eat twice in a day and does not leave home. All right, these are austerities and sacrifice. Such sacrifice of the comforts of life is called tapomaya yagya. Right? I'm sacrificing comforts voluntarily. There are still others who engage themselves in different kinds of mystic yogas, like the Patanjali system, for merging into the existence of the Absolute. Or Hatha Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga for particular perfections. All right, so far we've got Dravya Maya Yagya, right? Giving away things to others. We've got Tapomaya Yagya, accepting voluntary austerities. And we've also got the sacrifices entailed in the Ashtanga Yoga system. Yeah, eightfold process of controlling the senses and the mind, with the goal of meeting the supersoul in the heart. These are all sacrifices. And some travel to all the sanctified places of pilgrimage. All these practices are called yoga, yagya. Yoga yagya, sacrifice for a certain type of perfection in the material world. There are others who engage themselves in the studies of different Vedic literatures, specifically the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutras, or the Sankhya philosophy. All of these are called svadhyaya yagya, or engagement in the sacrifice of studies. All these yogis are faithfully engaged in different types of sacrifice and are seeking a higher status of life. Okay, so this is the purpose of all of it. A higher status of life. I'm going to give something up. I'm going to restrict myself, control myself, for the sake of a higher standard of life. Krishna consciousness is, however, different from these because it is the direct service of the Supreme Lord. Krishna consciousness cannot be attained by any one of the above-mentioned types of sacrifices, but can be attained only by the mercy of the Lord and his bona fide devotee. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is transcendental. All of these different kinds of restriction, sacrifice, controlling oneself, giving something up, they're either for one's own selfish purpose, right, in which case they become karma, or they can be done if they help in one's execution of devotional service, in which case they are akarma, spiritual. So you cannot get Krishna consciousness by all of these different Dravyamaya Yagya, Tapomaya Yagya, different Ashtanga Yoga processes for one's own purpose, all right, or by study, by independent study for one's own purpose. You cannot get Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness can only be attained by the mercy of the Lord and his bona fide devotee. But either way, all of these sacrifices are considered to be pointing one in the right direction. One learns the principle of giving something up for a higher purpose. And the ultimate higher purpose, highest purpose, is the satisfaction of the complete whole, the source of everything, Lord Sri Krishna. Thank you very much, everybody. And now it is time for Arati. If anyone has any questions on the class, you can catch me after. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय, श्री सिया राम लखन हनुमान की जय, श्री गौरनिताय की जय, श्री शल प्रपात की जयो जयो गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा
Jaya Jaya Gora
कि बजयो जयो गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तटवनी जगमनलोभा जानवी तटवने जगमनलोभा कि बदखिने निताय चान वामी गदाधर कि बदखिने निताय चान वामी गदाधर निकटे अद्वैताशिनी वास छत्रधार निकटे अद्वैताशिनी वास छत्रधार कि बबसियाचे गौराचान रत्न सिंहासने कि बबसियाचे गौराचान रत्न सिंहासने आरती कोरे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवगणे चामरधुलाया संजया मुकुंद बासु घोषादि गाया संजया मुकुंद बासु घोषादि गाया शिव शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल माधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाल माधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाल शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल कि बहू कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला कि बहू कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरार संपद गौरांगे आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगे आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगे आरती को शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय सिया राम लखन हनुमान की जय श्री गौनिताय की जय श्री शिला प्रभुपाद की.
So now we'll chant our Premadhvani prayers. Please everybody bow down. And when you hear me say the word ki, that's your invitation to reply with Jai. Okay? Alright. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashto Tarasata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashto Tarasata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki. Jainitai Gaur Premanandi Haribo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories unto the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So please stay seated. We're going to chant prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, Krishna's half man, half lion incarnation, who protects us in our bhakti and in everything else. You want to say?
Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Hiranya Kashi Purvakshaha. Tanka Kalae Ito Nasimo Parto Nasimo Yato Yato Yamitato Nasimo Bahe Nasimo, Ridahe Nasimo Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade Avakar Kamal Vare Nakan Adbhuta Shringar Dalitare Ranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Narsingh Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much all for attending the Aarti. Prashadam is now being served outside in the adjacent room, and the next Aarti will be at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,